Hey everybody, I'm the host, Dr. Bob Lee for 107.5 WBLS. You're watching Open. It's a live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, our first guest is the founder and CEO of the Latina Podcasting Network, and she's with us to speak about the work that she's doing to highlight and uplift the voices of Latinx community. That Latinx community is powerful. So please welcome to the show, Rita Bautista. Rita, welcome.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me today.
Rita, I heard that you were all the way in Brazil. How lucky.
I am. I'm out here enjoying the scene, and also we'll be looking into some podcasters while I'm out here as well. So
that's what you're there for? You're there on business?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. I get it. No, I get
it.
So tell us about all the wonderful things that you're doing. You're the founder and CEO of Latina Podcasters Network. And they say that when you do your thing, you're like right on target. You hit it hard. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so Latina Podcasters Network is one of the subsidiaries of Latina Podcasters. We have two networks, Latina Podcasters Network and Latino Pods. And the goal is to amplify the voices and create an opportunity and a window for us to be able to diversify the audio and the content that everybody listens to when it comes down to podcasting. Mm-hmm. So you have 36 podcasts across both networks, all amplifying the voices of Latinas, Latinos, and the Latinx community in the U.S. and now globally as well.
So how many are part of this now?
36.
All right. And when did you start this?
Back in 2019, I had this random idea that I should start my own podcast. And I was in my closet right before the pandemic. So it's really interesting because I really got a chance to see what production looked like for the independent podcaster. And very quickly, I realized there was a lack of diversity in this media space. And so I decided to take on the efforts and create a network that was going to be focused on amplifying the voices of my people.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people didn't know a darn thing about podcasting. They said, what is this? What is a pod? What is that? When did you first find out about it?
Oddly enough, in 2017, Serial was one of my first podcasts that I listened to. And it was actually on, I think his name was Saeed. I can't remember exactly, but it was a murder podcast that was close to my hometown in Maryland. So it caught my interest immediately. And just being Latina, you grew up listening to or watching novelas. Yeah. And I associate a lot of podcasts to basically just novelas in audio form and video as well now.
Yeah. Novelas. I watch it every now and then.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
I don't know. I just go through it. And, and just listen, and the channels just, not the channels, but the programs just keep on coming. So, and I'm doing it, like Ann Tripp has it on her TV. She's the news person at WBLS. So when we're going through, sometimes I stop and talk to her, and she has it on. So that's the way I watch it. But she watches, she can understand the whole thing. So what are some of are you trying to gather some information out there in Brazil that will help you with your podcasting?
I want to meet with some of the podcasters that are here. I've already gotten kind of an understanding of the industry here as well. My main focus has been the U.S. Latinx audience because that's who I am. I was born in the U.S. So U.S. Latinos, Latinas, Hispanic, Latine, whatever you want to kind of call those first generation born Latinos in the U.S., that's my main focus because we don't necessarily have a quote unquote country that we are like, we're physically born in the U.S. Our parents are from another country, but there's always there's this saying called ni de aquí ni de allá, like not from here and not from there. Because we have that mix of culture that is a little bit of the U.S. and a little bit of our culture from where our family's from. So there always seems to be some sort of a lack of representation for us in particular. So my main focus has been amplifying the voices from the U.S. and continuing to connect from there.
Well, Rita, my house is your house. Say that in Spanish.
Mi casa es su casa.
See. All right. So I understand that there's a new podcast coming up. You expecting a new show?
Yeah. We have 2 new shows. One actually right out in New York. If you guys have heard of Chicklet and Millenni, That's Your Reality podcast is now our flagship podcast for the Latino Pods Network. They are a huge social media influencer couple, and you can go on and listen to them hash out the craziness, the toxicity of the relationship, but also talk more about the development and growth of relationships in general through their humor and their style and their charisma. I love their show. It's a hit already, and now we're just getting the word out there. Really excited about them joining the network. And we also just added Angelicales, which is a mother-daughter duo. They're both Mexican telenovela stars, singers and entertainers, comedians, hilarious, beautiful synergy between a mother and a daughter, and getting a nice behind-the-scenes look at 2 actresses talk to each other in the conversations that a mother and a daughter would.
Yeah. Are you putting one on soon? Are you going to star in one?
It's hilarious because you're like the 7th person to ask me like in the last 2 days where my podcast is, and I'm going to be relaunching my podcast. It was called Empodera Latina, and it has been dormant for a few years now, but it seems as though if the public is asking for it, it's because people want it. So we're going to relaunch it in the next quarter in Q3. So be on the lookout for that. And it'll be another flagship podcast for the network where we can highlight the voices of the podcasters as well.
Yeah, so we got you thinking about it. Any new things that you're thinking about adding to it or taking away from it?
I love the telenovela style conversation, like telling a cool, informative story behind each one of the episodes, but make it a little drama filled. So if I can figure out a way to do that, that would be, I think, a pretty big attention grabber.
That's great. So when you get ready to do it, you let us know, okay? We want to tune in and check it out.
Definitely. You'll be the first one because I know you'll tune in.
Yeah. Like my house is your house.
Right. Mi casa es su casa.
There you go. Mi casa su casa. Where can we go to find out more about everything that you're doing?
Absolutely. If you want to listen to the podcast, you can either go to our website, latinapodcasters.com, or Latino Pods, or follow us on our social media platforms at Latina Podcasters, at Latino Pods. And tune in, subscribe, follow, share the stories with all of your friends and family. I encourage everyone to try and diversify their listenership, whether it's trying a podcast outside of your typical genre or listening to podcasts outside of your culture. There's also a lot of listenership that we've noticed now that wants to listen to shows in Spanish because they want to better their language skills. So listening to podcasts is a great idea. We have podcasts that are in English and Spanish and Spanglish, which is our kind of quote unquote native tongue for first friends in the U.S. But we have podcasts that'll be able to pretty much hit every topic that you're interested in, from true crime to entertainment and comedy and regular talk podcast.
I love it. Enjoy Brazil. Enjoy the food, the culture and everything, and drink your water. Your own water. Yeah, there you go.
Hydrated.
All right. Thank you so much. Rita Bautista, founder and CEO, Latina Podcasters Network. We appreciate you and love you and thank you. Enjoy your stay out there in Brazil. All right, we'll take a quick break right here. I've got more. It's all happening next right here on Open.